Lexi. I like that.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Lexi. I am back with the part 2. I know I promised this years ago. I'm not even gonna bullshit. Let's just get right into it. So, super quick breakdown. Me and the hubs, we live in a home part-time and in the RV part-time. The home, super normal, super cute and gorgeous, but the RV, she's a haunted girl, and it's a weird, creepy feeling all the time when we're in there. Things would go missing, they'd pop up back days later, shit's being thrown. We start hearing crazy noises, we start hearing footsteps in the back all freaking night. It's not windy. Like, do y'all hear that? The lights were flickering like crazy. And then this thing started to touch me, and then this thing showed itself to me. All of this stuff was happening while we felt super creeped out. We just felt uneasy in our own home. So I filmed part 1, right? We moved back into the house. Things were weird. Never in the house. The house was fine, but things were happening to me everywhere else. The house is very protected, has a lot of candles, a lot of crosses. I'm gonna get right into it and tell you like the first few things that happened. This one night, it's super late at night and I'm doing laundry, and the girl that lives in the back is also doing laundry. So we're both back there, we're chatting up, doing our thing. She's standing literally like this close to me. Like, we're not that far apart at all. And out of nowhere, we both hear, "Hello?" right in between us. It was very much a high-pitched hello, but it almost seemed like it was a man trying to portray a woman's voice. Very creepy, did not like it, but that's exactly what it sounded like. So we look at each other and we're quiet, we're dead quiet. And she goes, "Did somebody just say hello?" I was like, oh, okay, so this is real. Like, you heard it too. We didn't say anything. I just took my stuff and I left. The next thing that happened at my job. Over to the left, there is a little hallway, and then you make a right and there's a kitchen. And in that kitchen, there is a motion activated light. So every once in a while, I keep seeing something like darting the side of my eye, and I keep seeing it. I look up, nothing's there. So I'm sitting there and I see something just peeking out, looking at me. And it's just a shadow. It's just a shadow. I see its whole little body, but his head is like poking out like this. And as soon as I look at it, it goes back in super quick and the light turns on.
Excuse me?
I of course think, okay, there's someone's out there, even though I saw the fucking shadow. I'm like, someone's in there. I get up, I look, no one's there. I remember I was like annoyed this day, so I was just like, whatever, I don't have time for it. I go, sit back down, and that's it. A few weeks later, we hire another dispatcher for our sister company. So we start getting kind of close. She starts telling me like, there's a weird ass vibe in here. Like, it feels like somebody's in here. So I'm like, do tell. She's like, no, like, I don't want you to think I'm crazy. I'm like, girl, come on with it. Tell me what's going on. So she starts telling me like, I keep seeing something at the corner of my eye. And when I look, I don't see anything. But yesterday, I saw something. And I'm like, what'd you see? And she's like, I saw a shadow and it moved super quick. When it went into the kitchen, the light turned on. So I'm like, very weird, because I saw the same thing. So after that stuff happens, we move back into the RV for a little while. This one night, it's me and the hubs. We're chilling. Right behind you is the backyard. This is where we would hear like the footsteps and like someone banging on the trash can, and we'd look out there and nothing was there. So we're both chilling. We're leaning up against the wall and I start to hear the footsteps. They go on for a little bit and finally I'm like, do you hear that? Do you hear that? He's like, yes, I hear it. Like, whatever, just ignore it. I ignore it for a little longer. I get the courage to look outside. I look out the window, nothing is out there. I sit back down and they start up again. I hear the footsteps sounding like they are going around, walking right up to my window. And I'm scared because I know if I look out there and if I see something, I will shit my pants. I look over at my man. So he's looking at me, his eyes go like this, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, don't scare me, do not scare me. I finally turn, I look up, and I see what he's looking at. So I have these necklaces over my window. So as this thing was over here shuffling in front of the window, these necklaces are all just moving back and forth as if someone went like this, like to all of them. I don't know what that was. I was waking up super lethargic with bloodshot eyes. I was sick all the time. I felt horrible all the time. I was having horrible thoughts and I felt bad. So this one night, I'm in my kitchen, I'm making a sandwich. I start to get this creepy feeling as if someone that is not supposed to be there just looking at me. It's late, it's dark. I'm trying my darndest to just calm down. Like, dude, relax. Like, nothing is happening. You're fine. You're literally fine. I just continue, make my sandwich. I put some chips on my plate. And out of nowhere, I just feel something hit the top of my head. It freaked me out. Like, I froze. And it didn't hurt, but it definitely was enough to startle me. Obviously, something just hit me on top of the head in the middle of the night in the dark. So I'm sitting there like, it's quiet. And I start looking around. I see a fucking trash bag roll, like brand new. And it's sitting right next to me on the booth. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, got it. Okay, so this thing fell from in the cupboard, hit me on the head. That's what that was. Okay, cool. So I stand up, I'm looking in the cupboard, I'm like looking for the box where it came from so I can put it back. And I noticed that the box is not only upright, but it's pushed all the way to the back of the cupboard. It definitely didn't come out rolling like that. So how the fuck did this thing just come out and bust me in the head? As I said in part 1, this is not the first time something like this has happened, where something just comes like busting out of the fucking cupboard, being thrown. I grab my food, I go to my room, and that's that. So this next thing that happens in the kitchen, in the same spot, I'm making food, and I remember it was super late because my man was in the back and he was sleeping. He was dead ass asleep. It had to have been like 2, 3 in the morning. I remember I was trying super hard to be quiet. I start to hear footsteps. This has to be somebody out there. Like, somebody is out there doing something. So I ignore it. I continue to make my food. Out of nowhere, I feel tap tap. It was 100% fingers. Cold, ass fingers, and I'm just sitting there just frozen. I took a few breaths, grabbed my stuff. I started acting like I was already leaving. I'm already done. Who cares? Scratch my arm, gotta play it off like you got an itch, you know? And I walked to the room. It literally felt like this thing was right up against me, right behind me. Like it was just like inches away from like just grabbing me by the hair. Scary ass bitch. As soon as I got back there, I wasn't even hungry anymore. Put my food away, I lay down, and I knocked the fuck out. I did not give it a reaction. Part one, I was always like, babe, being very much dramatic. This other thing that happened, I just got done in the shower, and I went to open the door. It wouldn't open, like it was locked. So I keep trying, I keep pushing, and it does not open. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I look under because we have like a little crack. There's nothing there. There's nothing blocking it. So I go up again and it does not budge. So I like stop for a second. I use my shoulder and like push up against it. But when I do, the door literally like opened for a second and like pushed back. Like somebody's out there fucking holding it. I was like, what the fuck? Like I would have 100% heard my husband come in. Definitely not him. Like I could see under, there's no one there. I got that creepy feeling like instantly there is something not right about this. So I sit there, I'm just waiting, stand there for like a good 2-3 minutes, and then I finally just go, like just push the door with my finger and it opens like nothing. I'm like, what the actual fuck was that? So this last experience that I'm going to talk about scared the absolute shit out of me. This scared me for a couple reasons, but the main reason being I was told to be cocky as hell, brother. That's all I'm going to say. I get off work this one night. It's late. I come straight home and I knocked the fuck out. So I fell asleep for a couple hours, and by the time like 2:30 in the morning hit, I was up and I just could not sleep anymore. I'm just gonna watch a little YouTube and see if maybe I can fall asleep. So I'm sitting just like this. I have my phone like this, so I'm looking down like this. A good like 45 minutes pass, and then I randomly get that urge to look up. Part one, I explain. I was sitting just like this. I had that urge to look up. I looked up and that thing was literally all up in my face, this close. It was there for 2-3 seconds and then it just disappeared. So that feeling of having the urge to like look up, that alone was scaring the shit out of me. So I was literally like, I'm not doing it. Like I refuse to look up. So I'm to have been like 2-3 minutes that pass. I'm starting to like kind of calm down, chill out, and out of nowhere I hear a loud ass bang. So it startled the shit out of me. Of course, I'm gonna look up. So again, I'm sitting there minding my fucking business when staring at me from my dark ass kitchen is that thing. It's just standing there. It was literally just the face. I could see his head had a little bit of hair, but it was just standing there. Like again, no body, but it was just sitting there and it was just staring at me. It was smirking, but it also looked pissed. It was almost like a, yeah, I got you now, bitch. You thought that you're just gonna ignore me. No. Like the first time, it just disappeared. I was just looking right at it because I didn't know what else to do. I didn't scream, I didn't cry, I didn't say anything. I literally just grabbed my phone, I put it to the side, and I started backing up, still keeping my eyes on it because I am not gonna sit here and like look down for a second and have that thing up in my face again. No, absolutely not. Backed up, moved the blanket around me, went under the covers, put the covers over my head. I fell asleep. Stayed there all night. Like I was not even going to risk having that thing come up like it did the first time. So that's definitely the creepiest thing that has happened because it felt menacing. First few times, it felt like innocent almost, like it like touching my leg and like, you know, it just didn't feel like it was super crazy, and it's not fun, that's for sure. So what's the plan now? What have we done? Why am I so freely talking about this now? We finally got the place cleaned, literally cleaned everything out, like a bunch of stuff that I had been gifted. I threw a lot of stuff out. I gave a lot of clothes, donated, like we got rid of a lot of shit, and we actually cleaned the house. We cleaned ourselves. Things have been really good. It's all good vibes. Things have been great. I even stopped smoking cigarettes. I no longer wake up sick all the time or wake up with bloodshot eyes, feeling like my brain's gonna pop out of my head. To everyone that watched the first video on TikTok, on Instagram, and on here, thank you guys. I really appreciate the love. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I really hope that you guys liked this video. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye.